There we go. Now we're good. All right. So welcome to CodeZeroAlgos, the Tuesday edition for week 4, which we are continuing our mock interview preps. On the chopping block today, so to speak, is Christopher Jones. He is interviewing for position number 4, which was full-time front-end developer with BDev Services. So in case you guys did not get a chance to see this, I will share my screen really quick and show you what we are looking at least this part of it anyways. So this was my pretend job postings for BDev Services. The posting particularly that Christopher chose to apply for was the full-time front-end developer, where we are focusing on creating engaging and user-friendly interfaces and contributing to the aesthetic and functional aspects of our projects with front-end expertise. So Christopher has also provided me, as per the way we had the links, was a resume, GitHub, and LinkedIn, and if he had any others, he could share those as well. So my first question to you, Chris, as the interview is now commencing, so to speak, is, out of the positions that were available, why did you choose the front end?
I feel my skills are the strongest when it comes to front end technologies, and I probably wouldn't need as much assistance getting the requirements of that job fulfilled. Um, my my skills are there and getting better with other technologies like Python, Django, and backend technologies, but they're not to the point where I would feel comfortable applying for a job where that is mostly the requirements.
Okay, fair enough. I like that as an answer, so to speak. Hang on, moving some things around, sorry. I think I put it in here. I did not. So the languages that we focus on in BDev at BDev Services are specifically Python and JavaScript based applications and languages. Is that something that you are comfortable with?
Yes, I'm very comfortable with JavaScript and using it for a number of reasons. And I'm more and more comfortable with Python. I just haven't used it as frequently in the little projects that I'm doing to kind of keep my skills fresh and continue learning things. I use more JavaScript than I do Python.
Is that personal preference or just because you feel more comfortable?
It's so I can kind of get more mastery at one type of a thing,
Okay.
um, rather than split my brain between two languages. Just focus language logic in one area.
You list on your resume some of the tools of like Git, GitHub, and VS Code, and IntelliJ. You specifically put Git and GitHub. Why?
Because they're two different things. The Git versioning control is what GitHub uses, what Bitbucket uses. I think there's some more versioning controls that use Git also, but I I didn't realize that when I was learning it. So now that I do realize it, I think it's important to point that out.
I 100% agree with that. um, you do have 3 projects listed on your resume, which I like very much. Trying to look. Is there any particular order to them? Like, is one you're more you liked more than the other, or just how you put them up?
The Code Zero project, the for sale project, is my favorite one, is why it went first. I had a lot of fun doing that and got to learn a lot of new things with a lot of new people that I got to meet while we were doing that project.
Okay, so that sounds like it was a group project.
Yes, yes, it was a group project, and we kind of came together, the Coding Dojo alumni, to make these groups, and then we would decide on a project to do, and we went with an e-commerce project, and we divvied up the workload into who's doing front end work, who's doing back end work, and what exactly we wanted to see from that application. And it was just a great learning tool to see how projects can be made.
And I see you also have that as professional experience, the Code Zero. So tell me more about this because it sounds interesting.
Code Zero is blossoming into a wonderful idea.
I'm sorry.
I've I mean, it's pretty fantastic, and I've had a lot of fun my time in the Code Zero. I'm pretty sure you know all about it, but but I know some people you can talk to that will also bolster its reputation.
Um, on your GitHub, I see quite a bit of green, but I do see a bit of a gap between December and January
Yeah.
specifically.
There
Fair
was a lot of holiday stuff going on, and
enough.
I did realize over that period that if you delete a repository, you delete your green boxes.
Yes, that's why Melissa says don't delete repositories.
Yep, I will never do that again. Even if I hate the repository, it's staying.
That's why my crazy, stupid, ugly mountain is still there. Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
I do have some questions.
Excellent.
So my questions are mostly in regards to like the work environment.
Okay.
If it would be remote, in person, and would it be team oriented or individual?
100% remote. I mean, unless you like live in the area of a team member and you guys want to hang out together, it's 100% remote. In terms of teams, most of the projects will probably be team, but there's going to be a lot of individual time to that. There's also the possibility of team leads for some projects. So there might be the time where you might be a team lead, unless that's something you're opposed to.
No, that sounds great. And actually that's kind of one of my other questions too. Like, so this position is where I feel most comfortable, where my skills are currently.
Mhm.
But I'm also interested in if this is like a career path that might lead to um, something else down the line. And I mean, team lead is a big career path there.
True. I am a big proponent of cross training. So I like it personally when team members learn from each other so that one, everybody on the team knows what's going on, but potentially if a team member gets sick, for example, somebody else could potentially at least explain what they were doing, if not potentially take over.
Yeah, that sounds good. That makes sense. Um, and then what would be some of the expectations for me in the front end developer role?
In terms of front end, where I envision that role being is making sure that the client's visions are brought to life. With at BDev Services, our focus is on the small people, the little people that can't afford those big box companies to get those really fancy schmancy websites. Not saying we can't build them, but I want to focus on the people that can't afford them. And our whole vision and mission statement is that our clients are part of the team. So I want them to work along with our developers to the best of their ability. Obviously, some people are not technical savvy, so they would know nothing about what we do on the developer side, but it's their website. They know what they want, so they should be a part of as much of it as they can. So
That sounds good.
talking to the clients might be something that happens, but that's going to go mostly on the team leads' heads. But there may be times, given a front end developer, where you might have to reach out to the clients, because I really want the clients to be a part of every step of the process as much as possible.
Actually answered my next question too. So the team lead would be the main go-to for the client.
Yes.
All right. Well, that would be something to look forward to later on then, I guess. Once I get a little bit more settled in my role, like
Mhm.
maybe talking to the clients a little bit more.
We also
Um,
run it as a Scrum environment. So there will be meetings where the client is involved in the meeting and everybody on the team is there. So there's going to be times where it's not just the team lead running, talking to the client, it's the whole team as well.
okay. Let's see. And then are there any learning and development opportunities that would be available?
I would answer that one honestly. Um, in my opinion, yes. And I say it like that because I feel that as a developer, we should always be learning. And we should always be trying to better ourselves. So there's always going to be a chance where we might learn something new or have to pick up something new. Especially as we delve into like maybe an e-commerce site. If you've never built it before, you're going to come across new packages and technologies you've never dealt with before. So I definitely feel like learning is going to be a key proponent. It's just, I feel like that's more of a part of our everyday lives as developers.
Very true. Like we can't stop learning technology. It just doesn't stop building new technology. So
Very
kind
true.
of have to. Well, that's all the questions I have. Do you like working at BDev Services?
Yes. That's a bad question in this case because I'm the owner of it. So I'm like, no, I hate it, but yet I own
Well,
it.
you
So.
better like it.
Right? I mean, it's like literally has my name practically in the name. So for those that don't know me, Melissa in Greek means honeybee. That's hence the name of BDev Services. That's literally me. That's why the anchor's there, because I'm a Navy veteran. So it's all right. So we've concluded the interview. I mean, it's a mock one anyways, but still. How do you feel? I mean, obviously, I'm not really good at doing interviews, obviously, but at the same time, how do you feel?
I feel so much better than I did 30 minutes ago. Like I was so nervous. I don't know why. Like I talk to you all the time. But the idea of the interview, even it being a mock interview, um, like my anxiety just shoots through the roof. And
It didn't show. At least I
well,
didn't see it. I didn't see it.
I'm super glad that it didn't show, but I was very nervous in the beginning, but I mean, this is definitely helpful for interviews for me.
That was my next question. Do you think that this is helpful for future interviews? So,
It definitely took some of the fear out.
okay. Why? Because it was me or just in general?
I won't know until it's someone else, I guess. But
Okay.
but I
I mean, I
think
am
just
me,
in
so
general.
yeah.
Yeah, I think you're pretty fantastic. But
I had to throw that question about what do you think of Code Zero? I was just tell me more about it. I had to throw that in there because it was too funny.
well, yeah, that one I was like, well, you should know everything about it, but
I should. I hope
but
so.
everything about it is fantastic.
I'm like I said, I'm stealing it. I'm keeping it. It's coming with me. I don't care. So for those watching at home, so to speak, if you don't mind, correct? Me showing
I
the
don't
your
mind.
things.
Oh, no, 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 not at all.
So this was his resume, which I really do like. Um, I like your table around your skills. I like how you took like a little bit of the two things that we had been talking about in the past and kind of combined them. Like the table kind of makes it stand out. And in this case, I think having your skills stand out is a good thing. Because that's like when I first looked at it, that was the first thing I saw was the table of your skills. So my eyes were immediately drawn to that. And then actually the project beneath because it was right below it. So I felt like that was going to be your next most important thing. And I agree with you on the Code Zero for sale thing. That was a lot of fun.
Man, you did a lot of work for that.
um, oh, cooking meal. And the other one was the GitHub one. So I definitely liked your GitHub, obviously, since I stole pieces of it. One thing I would recommend, obviously you can only do so much about the followers part, but I would definitely follow as many people as you can.
Okay.
I say that because your feed, like if I pull up my GitHub, if I just go here, this is all coming from people that I follow. So like I can see, okay, it really doesn't, apparently I have filters on, but there it is. If I turn all the filters off, except for the follows, maybe. Oh, I just realized I'm on the wrong site. I'm on the wrong GitHub. No wonder I can't see anything.
Yeah, it wasn't until I got GitHub Mobile that I even realized they had a like a feed.
Yeah, it's on the live site too, the website as well. But let me get my stupid authenticator open. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I typed the wrong one in. Yeah, so these are all people that I follow, which means I can see what they're doing. I can see when they post updates about something. So, like this was a former instructor of mine that I follow. So I can see that he's been doing some stuff. And I'm like, slider with debounce and throttle. What is that? You know, somebody I worked with, a couple other people. So it's definitely something you want to follow as many developers as you can, I feel. I know I follow quite a few. I think I've got like 200, maybe it's 100. I don't even know anymore. 100. But I've also got a bunch of followers, which makes me feel good. But it's definitely something that you want to utilize for yourself because it's not, I wouldn't as an employer, I wouldn't look at who's following you, but I would look at who you're following. I think you can see that. Like if I click this, Oh, I guess, yeah, I can see who you're following, which if you think about it, somebody could find you through somebody else and vice versa. So that's why
Yeah,
I'm a
that's
big
true.
proponent. Yeah. So like, somehow I'm not following you, but I am now. So that means that if they're on mine and they hit who they want to see who I'm following, they might find you.
Yeah, that'll help a lot with searching GitHub too, because I never know what I'm trying to search. So I always end up using like Google search to find things in GitHub.
Mm-hmm.
But if
And
I'm already
then
following them, then I know where to look.
exactly. And if you find repositories that you like, I would star them as well. Go ahead, Alexia.
This isn't really, but it is something that crossed my mind. Christopher, I notice you have a very nice and easygoing way of speaking, and that's very pleasant to listen to. Is if you have a much more direct and much more direct form of communication, can that come across as off-putting to a interviewer?
It could
I
go
think
two
everybody.
ways. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I've noticed that I am kind of off-putting to a lot of people because I'm very direct.
No, she said you weren't.
Oh, I'm not?
Yeah.
I said that you were very easygoing and pleasant to listen to.
Oh, I remember that part. I like that part, but the the direct thing, I do think a lot of people maybe not understand until they understand me kind of thing.
I think
But
it depends on the person as well. Because, like, the first thing I noticed about Chris was his background was clean and he has a nice collared shirt on. And then, like you said, Alexia, he did seem very easygoing and kind of laid back, but not too laid back. I think body language is going to go more towards how you come across than your actual tone, if that makes any sense.
It does. It does. Thank
Um,
you.
yeah, like if I sat here like this, that's not very welcoming. You know, even as the interviewer, that's still not very welcoming. I shouldn't do that myself. I have something in my hand below the camera the entire time so that I fidget with my hands that and my hands aren't going like this all the time because I talk with my hands a lot. So I think your overall presentation and just your body language, I think, is going to go more towards everything than your tone.
Okay, thank you.
Good question.
Thank you.
I forgot what I was going to ask Ness though. I forgot. My brain's fried today. I'm just like, my emotions are all over the place today. I just don't know what to do anymore.
I'm trying to remember who John Washam is.
Who?
John Washam?
A software developer at Amazon.
I know the rest of them, but I can't remember him for some reason.
It could be just that he followed you, so you followed him. That could potentially could be one of it. I know I do that a lot on mine. And I do that on my LinkedIn as well, is people who follow or people who request to follow me, I'll just follow them right back.
I think
Mostly because
GitHub
it
is the only
expands
thing
my
I've been
network.
picky.
What's that?
I think GitHub is the only thing I've been picky about.
I would be more picky, honestly, about LinkedIn than GitHub. Because if you think about it, GitHub is a very specific skill set. So if you're on GitHub and people are following you, there's probably it's fair. I feel like it's safer, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't get any weird DMs from GitHub, but I get some weird DMs on LinkedIn.
Yeah, that I do. Yep. Oh, my question about the GitHub. Did I throw you off on that one? When I asked you about your tools, I said you have Git and GitHub. Did I throw you off on that one?
No, I was trying. A lot of times I get in my head thinking about how I want to phrase it.
No, you phrased it great. I wanted to see what you would answer when I asked why you had both there. I was curious as to how you would answer it, and you did perfectly because they are different. Which when I asked that, I had a very specific reason to ask that is because many people don't think they are, like you said you didn't initially. So knowing that they are not the same thing, that GitHub utilizes Git, and then you actually added other places that utilize Git, means you know what it does. And that you have actually utilized it. So that showed towards your skill set.
Sweet.
At least that's how I saw it anyways. Why don't you have the repository link here?
Because that one I think was the public one, and I was gonna ask you if it was okay if I did that first. Because since it's your repo.
But you worked on it. So that means you're a contributor.
Yeah, but you know, privacy stuff.
It would be private then though. I mean, no, I understand why what you're saying though. But if I remember correctly, I think you're listed on there, right? Not that one. Like you did get put up on there, right?
Maybe. I think my teammate actually pushed to GitHub, so
Oh, okay. We will have to fix that.
like I'm on the organization.
Mm-hmm.
He just pushed my branch for me.
Got it. But we could probably see in terms of the commits. Good Lord, that's a lot of commits, man.
Spencer Payne, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so Spencer's all over. But there's also the forks and stuff like that. So there's probably a way to find you. But yeah, you can absolutely put the link there. I don't have a problem with that at all.
I mean, I can always just add something later too.
Oh, of course.
It just pops on, right? You have it where it automatically throws you on there.
Yep, it's an API link.
Yeah, because the only thing I put was like an image. So there's, you know, once we start doing the like actual Git content for like the tech bite stuff, I imagine there'll be some good stuff to throw in there.
Oh yeah, there would. Yeah, we don't have much in here right now. Oh, I forgot they put the quiz on there. That's right. I'm still so happy. I'm so glad we did that as an event. I thought that was a lot of fun. I want to do it again, but not as a 2-week event. That needs to be like a month-long event because I felt like there was a lot more people wanted to do. But there just wasn't time.
Yeah, everyone's work schedules are hard to compress.
Mhm.
Luckily, I
So,
don't have a work schedule right now, so
so Alexia, what did you get out of the mock interview side of today?
For starters, know the difference between Git and GitHub, as, as well as to put more visual variety into my resume. Because I kind of took out most of the tables within mine because I wanted it to look professional.
Mm-hmm.
But like you demonstrated with Christopher's, with Christopher's resume, putting our skills in the tables really drew the eye to it. And since that is exactly what an interviewer will be looking for, that's what we want.
Yeah. So like this is mine currently. I'm still editing mine again. Nothing in my mind gets drawn to it. Like it's just that professional look, like you were saying, but it's just it looks like word vomit. I mean, it has everything there. I feel like it needs to have less, but still having everything there, just like less something. I don't know.
Maybe, well, I of course don't know what you're going to be looking for next in your career, but maybe if you're trying to highlight your years of experience, you could put that into the table, along with just like up next to the label experience, you have, say, a total of whatever X number of years you've been in this business.
That's not a bad thought, actually.
Yeah, just food for thought.
Mm-hmm. Next up for me, by the way, is my own coding bootcamp.
Oh, hell yeah, nice.
Yeah, I mean, that's not officially. No, it is. Basically, I mean, tomorrow's my last day, so.
Aw.
So, yep, I already have, where'd it go? Wrong one. I already have people helping me too. I mean, I don't know who. No, I'm joking. I already have the logo and everything.
Nice. So, I noticed internship is at the top of that little beehive. So, how exactly do you figure that's going to fit into your boot camp?
Well, because I have this as well. So
Oh, you're actually opening BDev services.
BDev services is actually a thing. Yep. And they get an instant 2-month internship after they finish building the rest of the hive. They get a 2-month internship at BDev services to complete it.
Very nice. That's good. That's good thinking.
That's going to be my little in. That
Hell yes.
that and cost, because I can't offer financing, which means I have to bring my cost down a little bit to make it more affordable. But I think in the end it'll work. It'll work like right. It's just going to be tight for a while, and these are all going to be buttons. They're going to be hidden, not hidden. They're going to be disabled until they unlock the stack.
All right.
But the real pride point is not just the internship. It's this part right here. That's my current layout.
Oh, so when your prospective students finish up their boot camps, they're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 whole projects to their name.
Yep, but not just projects to their name. The projects are built. Where do I have my project name? There it is. So each project is laid out like this. So if you're the Web Fund student, you have a React 1 and a React 2 student also building the same project with you. So there's a junior, mid, and senior dev building a project together.
So they're gaining experience with working on a team.
Yep. And they're getting the whole mentorship and leadership seniority throughout the boot camp.
Cool. So, is BDev Services currently accepting actual applications?
Not quite yet, only because I don't have the clients yet. So once I have the clients, it will be. It's just a matter of getting the word out, and I still have to probably finish building the website. It's mostly up. It's just I have to refine my services.
Mm-hmm.
I love the names. The names I'm sticking to because I had to have some fun with my names. But my price points need to change. But I don't think they need to change too much. Because
Okay.
this is like a 5-page static site. Almost like semi-static. So it's actually not bad if we're gonna deploy it and stuff like that. So it's just trying to find the right price points for everything is causing quite a bit of conundrum in my brain.
All right. I have a question that's actually not related to BDev services, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So, stuff's been happening in my life, and my GitHub there's not a whole lot of green in there. I think the last green you'll see in there is from November. So, is there any way I can correct that or make up for that in the eyes of an interviewer without spending the next year just religiously shoot, I forgot the word,
I know what you mean.
contributing to it?
So the answer to that would be yes and no. You can't create those green boxes for the past because it's all part of version control. But if it's been since last November, you have to remember November, December, and parts of January, that's all holidays.
Mm-hmm.
So like when Chris said that his GitHub had those blanks in them, oops, wrong way. If I go back to his profile, go back here. There you go. This looks really, really good. Initially, I would say that looks bad, but as soon as he gave me the reason, holidays, I can look at the dates. I'm like, oh, you know what? You're actually really right. Those are holidays. So this is somebody, especially because after the holidays, he picked back up again.
Mm-hmm.
I would hire this person. And not just because I know Chris, just based on the green boxes, I see consistency.
Okay.
If you look at mine, his looks a lot better.
Mm.
Now, if I were to be in an interview and they were to ask me why it looks like this, I'd be like, well, that's because I have more than one GitHub account. So my green boxes are spread across different GitHub accounts.
Okay.
Not that it fixes it, because I'm pretty sure Jan24 doesn't look very good either. Oh, that one might look better. I can't remember. No, that one does look a little bit better. So like this is my instructor one. That looks a lot better.
Oh, yeah.
But I was teaching, so I was constantly pushing code. So that makes sense. If I were to go to, like I said, I have a lot of them. Now this is the business one. That one looks like crap.
That one looks like mine.
But when you put all three of them together, not quite as bad.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely, if you can explain the reasoning for it, it's not as bad.
Okay.
And the other thing I would also highly recommend, one, get involved with CodeZero because, well, we have fun. And every month we're doing events now. I know I saved it, but I probably saved it under my other alter ego. Yep, I did. Of course I did. But I think I bookmarked it finally. That's okay. I can always go into my history, and we'll do 100. This one. I also recommend doing something like this.
100 days, 100 projects.
His thing, and there's an actual website that goes along with it. His thing is code for an hour every day. If that's all you do and you push it up, that's fine. It's something, and it shows that you're constantly working on your skills. But then you've got things like this. Now, this is all in CodePen. All of these can be found here on CodePen, which means they're all static. But nothing says your projects have to be full stack. You
Mhm.
can absolutely have static websites. And he's got some pretty cool ones on here. His last, the 100th project is this pen itself. But some of these things are really freaking cool. So it's definitely something, even if it takes you 30 days to build one of them, if you're working on it a little bit at a time, that's all that
Mhm.
matters.
Okay.
And like Chris found out the hard way, don't delete any repositories.
Never delete.
Yep. Melissa has always been a proponent of not deleting Melissa Public Archives because the green boxes stay and it's an instant look of public archive, which means it's a repository that I did. It shows my work, but I'm not working on it anymore.
Mm.
And it shows that I'm not working on it anymore because it's an archive. So it's just a README at this point type of thing.
So it's basically a finished project.
Maybe not. It could be an unfinished project. It could just be, I'm not working on it anymore. So, but it still goes to show my skill set. Like it's still something that I did. What I was referring to before with my crappy mountain.
Hmm.
It's a crappy mountain. Oh, that's not the one I wanted. I wanted the this guy. Where is that? Is the wrong drive. No, it's not. It's the right drive. My drive, there it is. Looking for that's not gonna do it. Where's maybe it is on Packup Day. I have to find it. I can never remember where I save half my stuff. Is that the right one? No. Why can't I ever find anything?
It might
Sounds
be.
like you got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you do have a lot of stuff.
I
You have
do.
all of the things. It was something Git related, I think, right?
Yeah, that's the one I'm looking for. Oh, wait, hold on. I know where I can find it. Projects and algos, master resources. This is my massive resource list. And it was down by my cheat sheets or notes. Guides and notes. There it goes. Melissa's Git notes. That's what I was looking for. This guy. So this was something I found on GitHub that is just HTML and CSS that still freaking blows my mind no matter how many times I look at it. And this is my crappy mountain rendition. I hate this so much. But I keep it because I can do better. But at one point, that's where I was. I mean, I'm definitely not like her level.
You're keeping track of your progress.
Yeah, so that's my biggest reason why I always say to not delete the repositories is because if you look, I'm logged in as me though, but I have 265 repositories. I think if you guys see it, I think it's about 250, 240 or something like that, because some of them are private. That's a lot of repositories, and a lot of them I'm just not working on anymore, but they're all ordered in the last ones I worked on. So this was the last thing I worked on. But you can go back and look at other ones that I've worked on all the way back to the very beginning. You say, oh dear, but at the same time, if I were to go all the way back to the beginning.
Oh, no, I said oh dear because you're froze up on me. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. If I were to go all the way back to the beginning, I have no idea how many pages this is. It's a lot of repositories, so I have no idea.
Yeah, I've only got 47 and I can't find things I want to find sometimes.
I know, right?
I'm like, I know I did it. It's got to be in here somewhere.
Can you filter by like the primary coding language that was used?
So this is the last, not the first repository I created, but it was the last one that was edited, or like that was edited the longest ago type of thing. But I can come in here and I can look at some of the ones that I've done. And if I've public archived them, I'm just not updating them anymore. But I can look at them and I can be like, I used to be this crappy. But now, as the pages grow on, I'd be like, you can see my progress, how I've improved, how I've kept coding, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look, I have a link of all my code pens from many moons ago. Oh, wow, it's actually a link of code pens.
Code pens? What are those?
That's this.
Oh,
Ooh, you have never played with code pen?
I have not.
Oh, code pens amazeballs. And that's actually what the February Code Zero event is all about. We are going to be doing the February Code Pen Challenge, where every week it's a different one. But the cool part is you can look back. So January was CSS stunts, and it was checkbox stunts, illustration, has, and mathematics were the different topics for each of the 4 weeks. But you can look in here and they give you starter code and then you take it from there.
Mhm.
I mean, it's just HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, but at the same time, that's where everything has to start. So
Yeah. All right. I will look around on CodePen. Thank you.
just beware.
Mhm.
Rabbit. I'm not lying. I wish I was, but I'm really not lying. It is a very big, like, for example, this one, I didn't make this. I just forked it because I thought it was really cool. I love the buttons.
Nice.
I'm like, it's a rabbit hole of ideas,
Mm-hmm.
A
especially
lot
when
of
you
times
get
it's like visual documentation for me.
Mhm. This one's still my favorite one. I have to admit, I love this one.
Oh my gosh, it's like that old arcade game.
It is. I can't seem to get past, I think it's 30 is the highest I've gotten.
Oh man, I used to waste a fortune in quarters on games like these.
Ooh, I might get past 30 this time. I'm doing pretty good. I tried to build it. It didn't work. Oh crap, now I'm screwing up. Oh no, no. Oh, I got past 30. Oh, fudge. Oh!
37, not bad.
Yeah, CodePen can be a big rabbit hole, but it at the same time, it's a really good way to like one of the things I'm doing on it right now is I'm actually playing around with what I'm thinking of as my portfolio for updating it. It still has work to do, and don't ignore the colors, just ignore the colors. I'm not there with the colors. But I can play with it because it's just the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. I can just play with it and see if I like it. And then eventually put it over into a Git repo. That's the only downside is that it doesn't directly add your commits to Git, but doesn't mean you can't move them over there.
Yeah,
True,
there for a
true.
while I was adding everything to GitHub and then adding it to CodePen. Like, I was doing the JavaScript 30 thing that
Oh
West
yeah.
Boss has, and it went straight from Visual Studio Code to GitHub and then to CodePen. That way, I was like trying to like put as much code as I could out there,
Hmm.
like just all over the place. So I had like libraries everywhere.
I love his stuff. His stuff is so awesome. Have you just done the one, the JavaScript 30?
No, I did all the free ones.
We're
He
talking about this
had
guy, Wes Boss. He is trying to get over to not courses.
He had
The
some
free
other
one
ones.
he's talking about was JavaScript 30. Where is his courses? This one. It's 30 days of different JavaScript functions.
Mm-hmm.
The first one being building a drum kit.
Building a what now?
A drum kit.
Is that like coding slang, or is that like an actual factual drum kit for percussion instruments?
No, like you actually hit a key on the keyboard and it makes a drum sound.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah, it really
Kind
is.
of both.
Yeah, and he gives you videos to go along with, as well as the starter code and the final code as well.
Nice.
Yeah, and that one's free. There's a couple free ones. I think I have a couple of his. I have a bunch of his paid ones too, because they weren't like this one, React for Beginners. If I remember correctly, it wasn't very bad on pricing. I just don't remember what it was. Yeah, just the starter course was $50 basically.
Mhm.
But you also get onto the Slack channel with him, so you get to talk with other developers that are doing the same thing, which is kind of cool as well.
Mhm.
Chris, what do you think about doing something like this with the school too, or with the internship?
As far as making the videos, like
No, like doing like a team license thing,
what is a team license?
a number of spots to allocate to employees, like as a training.
What are the benefits of a team license?
It looks like perfect for onboarding new hires, interns, and contractors. So like just helping them build a new language if we're like if they're not familiar with React, for example, have these available, and it looks like you can just add people into it as they're ready. That could be something to do or to have.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's essentially what we're making, right?
Mm-hmm. That's true. We are doing that. I forgot about that.
I mean, I want to support West Boss because he's taught me things, but I'm broke.
Yeah, that's true. Me too.
Mood.
But at the same time, I'm not letting my platform access will never expire for anybody.
True. And I was thinking, like, what about Kickstarter thing? Like, Free Code Camp has developed into a gigantic platform, right?
Uh-huh.
But it started off the way TechBite is starting off.
Actually, that's not a bad idea. Like to promote it on Kickstarter, you thinking? That's
Yeah,
not a
I
bad
think
idea.
it's a big deal that you're not going to kick people off once their, subscription or whatever has ended.
Yeah, and eventually I want to add more stacks, but right now I just want to keep to Python and React because they're the easiest to deploy and they're pretty universally popular. All right, I have to get going. I have a class to teach. My last class. So sad.
Well,
Aww.
have a good
That's fun.
class.
I am not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. No, I'm totally gonna cry. I know I'm going to.
It's okay.
All right. I will be back for CodeZeroAlgos on Thursday.
All right. See you guys later.
All right.